Now before any of you pointed out in the comments, let the record show that I bought this shirt before I saw the movie. Hello ladies and gentlemen and movie lovers of all kind, and welcome back to another Super Series Tuesday. And for today, we will be covering the second movie in the DCEU, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. I would also like to point out that I will be reviewing the Ultimate Edition of the movie. Why? Because the theatrical edition is horrible and I only saw it the one time in theaters and I will never watch it again. So Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, I'm going to keep saying the full name every single time, was released in 2016, was directed by Zack Snyder, stars Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, and Amy Adams. While the movie is set almost a full 2 years after the events of Man of Steel, the world is still kind of healing and not fully sure of what to think about Superman, and well, we know what Batman thinks. He thinks that this guy is here to destroy the world, so he sets out on a mission to gather all of his resources and go to war with the Man of Steel. So we can hop right into the positives, and the first positive being once again that I still adore Henry Cavill as Superman. He just has that vulnerability to him. He is this god, and he still has to call his mother for help. He still has these kind of fake conversations with his father to know what's right and what's wrong. I love that about him. It humanizes him so much more than any other version of Superman that I have ever seen. In this one, it's kind of a flippy-floppy mess with a lot of the fans, but I really love Ben Affleck as Batman. I mean, if you couldn't tell, I'm a huge Batman fan. He's by far my favorite hero. I love Batman. I love Ben Affleck's portrayal to a point, because I don't like the murder machine side of him. Not at all, but we'll touch on that later. But I just love his portrayal. He has the perfect build for Batman, he has the perfect kick-assery, and he has that kind of snarky attitude to him when he's playing Bruce Wayne, and he has the beautiful mindset of Batman. He does what needs to be done. He's looking out for Gotham. He cares about his city. And next is the score to this movie. It is once again Hans Zimmer returning, and need I say more? Well, I'm going to anyway, because again, it's one of his best, and I'm going to say that every time that Hans Zimmer does the score to something, just so you know. And this score is a huge reason why I come back to this movie as often as I do. And next is the cinematography. I love Zack Snyder's style of cinematography. He makes every movie feel epic, no matter how big, how small, just the wide shots that he does, the zoom in effect. He knows how to shoot action in spectacle so well. He is definitely a spectacle director, because not all of his movies go over so well with the fans, but no matter what, I don't think anyone can disagree on the fact that this movie looks epic as hell. The next positive is just the fact that this movie has so many memorable moments. I mean, the fight itself, the Batman v Superman part of it, it's only like 8 minutes, but it is so glorious. And as well as the Wonder Woman entrance is so epic. There's so many just awesome, memorable moments. You got most of them in the trailer, but you go back and watch the trailer, the last trailer to this movie, even though it's spoilerific as can be, you cannot lie to me and say that that does not get you hyped. I wish I could say the whole movie was epic and memorable, but there's just a lot of really good, epic, memorable moments in it. Another huge thing I like about this movie that I'm really happy they did is how realistically they deal with the events of Man of Steel. The world is split. Some people, like Lois Lane says, the hope for Superman is the only thing that some people have. And how half the world hates him, they want him dead, he's an illegal alien, the government still is after him. Like, he's not a fugitive, like the cops aren't showing up trying to arrest him or anything, but the government is like, hey dude, you gotta come to court and kind of talk this stuff out with us. You can't just go out and do stuff on your own. And now into the negatives. I will try to be brief, but God, I have a lot to say about this movie. Firstly is the one that I said I was going to address earlier, and that is the Batman murder machine, because that is my biggest negative with this movie. That's what pissed me off the absolute most about this movie. Now, I will say that the Ultimate Edition does a little bit better handling the situation, because there's that older gentleman who says, like, oh, there's a new mean in him, and he's out hunting, and it just addresses that Batman hasn't always been like this in this universe. Just recently, it does address it a little bit better than the theatrical cut does, but I hate it. I hate the fact that he's just this murder machine. He doesn't even try. Zack Snyder tried to say, oh, it's more so Batman slaughter. No, it's not. He has guns on his car and guns on his ship and rockets, and he blows people up. He's not calling this manslaughter, he's purposely trying to kill them. And next is something that I commended Man of Steel for, and Batman v Superman does a 180 and goes completely opposite, and that is the fact that this movie spends way too much time setting up for sequels, setting up for a bigger universe, trying to show us the other characters, and just not paying attention to its own story. It's consistently and constantly beating you over the head with the fact that, hey, these other heroes are out here. Hey, Darkseid's out there. This person's there. Like constantly telling you that there's a bigger universe. Be sure to stay tuned. And it's too much crammed into one movie. You got Wonder Woman coming in. You got Doomsday coming in. You have these 14 million plot lines shoved in here. It was just too much movie. And then the plan, Lex Luthor's plan to get them to fight, is just way too ridiculous. If you want a good laugh at trying to decipher how this plan was ever going to possibly work, watch the Screen Junkies honest trailer on this movie. It's ridiculous. There's no possible way that this would ever happen. It is the biggest amount of coincidences in a movie ever. It's way too much. And I guess I can just hop right into my next point, because they're kind of together in this, and that's just the fact that this movie has way too many plot lines. It's just like, rather than writing one story, just like straight upstream, it's like there, there, and then afterwards you have like 10 of them here, and you're like, huh. Okay, well, I'll put this line here, and then I'm just gonna circle. I'm just gonna circle a whole bunch, and then we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Way too much movie in one movie. And second to last is Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. I know you've heard people just hammer away at this over and over and over again. Jesse Eisenberg was just miscast. I truly think that he would have been a great Riddler or a character along those lines, but him just going around trying to be the menacing businessman Lex Luthor, going and making all those weird noises of, like, he literally does that so much, and he's like, like, this is not just me being weird, this is me just impersonating Jesse Eisenberg from this movie. Like, okay, I guess I am a little weird, but I mean, just not as weird as him. And of course, I wasn't gonna end this video without addressing it. Martha. The damn Martha scene. I've heard so much in the last 2.5 years about this damn Martha scene, okay? I've had it up to about there. I semi-understand where they were going for. As time has passed, I kind of understand what they were going for. I understand, hey, Martha, save Martha, because, you know, your dad said Martha, and then Martha, your mother died, but him just going like, Martha, why'd you say that name? And then all of a sudden, they're BFFs, and I failed him in life, I won't fail him in death, and he did so much for the world, and I love him all of a sudden because he said my mother's name. It doesn't make sense, okay? Why would Superman call her Martha? He doesn't know, like, I don't know why he would call her Martha, so that right there, that doesn't make any sense, and then just him becoming best friends. Like, I understand him wanting to save Martha, but the rest of it blows my mind. So I know it really does seem like I'm dumping on this movie a lot, and I kind of am. For how mediocre I find this movie, I find myself constantly coming back to this movie. Now, like I said, I will be rating the Ultimate Edition. The theatrical edition of this movie disappointed the hell out of me. I gave it a 6 after I came out of the theater. Luckily, this Ultimate Edition lands this score, and that score is going to be a 7.5 out of 10. So if you like this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and let me know, what are your thoughts on Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice? And be sure to check me out on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Links will be in the description and at the end of the video. And as always, be sure to hit up my Instagram page every Friday for the Fan Vote Friday. Thank you so much for watching, and that's a wrap. Shoot me directly in my face. See how well that turns out for you. Okay, fine.